Okay, welcome to week 3 of academic literacy. So, since the last time I talked to you, things have changed a bit, and all of the lessons are going to be online. So, this means that our 15-week course has been cut down to 11, which means a few of these weeks will be put together. Okay, so this week is as per schedule, but after that, things are going to change a little bit. So be prepared for that, and please make sure you watch the videos each week to make sure what is exactly going on. Okay, so today you are going to learn about writing an introduction, and every essay you write needs an introduction. And as you can see on the page here, the introduction has 2 parts. One part is to provide some background information, and the other part is to outline what you're going to talk about in the body paragraphs of your essay. And this is what we call the thesis statement. So you'll be writing what's known as a funnel introduction. And this means that at the start of your introduction, what you're giving is some stories, some facts or figures, and it's very wide, general information. Then as you move down further towards the end of the introduction, the information that you give gets more specific. And this is called the thesis statement. So the background information, as you can see here, section designed to grab the attention of the reader. Okay, when you read an introduction, it has to be interesting from the start. Think about it this way. Do you want to read your own introduction? If you don't want to read your own introduction, probably other people don't want to read it either. So make sure it's interesting. You can do that by telling a bit of a story, present some facts or figures, or a brief history of your topic. So you're gradually introducing your topic. You don't get straight to the main points of what you're going to write about. Then we have the thesis statement. Now, the thesis statement is usually the last sentence of your introduction. And the purpose of the thesis statement is to tell your reader, guide your reader to exactly what you're going to talk about in your essay. So, in the thesis statement, you present your topic, your opinion, and the main ideas that will support your opinion. Okay, topic, opinion, and the main topics that will support your idea. This is called the thesis statement. So if we look at the example on page 14, raising the consumption tax will be bad for Japan because the economy will get worse, the gap in the economy will widen, and many citizens do not accept it. So the topic, essay topic, raising the consumption tax, writer's opinion, will be bad for Japan, and the main topics that will be talked about in the essay, number 1, the economy will get worse, number 2, the gap in income will widen, and number 3, many citizens do not accept it. So that's basically your thesis statement. And the thesis statement will be the most difficult part of the introduction to write. So here's an example of a funnel introduction. So you can read through this introduction and you can see that the first part, from here in recent years down to interest in reading, this is the background information. And a good rule of thumb is the background information is about 80% of your introduction in total. Then the final sentence is your thesis statement. And in this one, thesis statement is Japanese university students should read more books because we can develop our concentration, increase our imagination, and improve our expressiveness. Okay, the topic here is Japanese university students. The opinion, should read more books, and how that's going to be explored. So the main topics to be explored. Number 1, we can develop our concentration. Number 2, increase our imagination. And number 3, increase our expressiveness. Because writing a thesis statement is probably the most difficult part, we're going to have some practice. Okay, so which of the following is a good thesis statement and why? Okay, so just in here, all you need to do is think about it. Is this good, A, B, C, D, good or bad, good or bad, good or bad? Okay. So the first one. Japan is a big country made up of 47 prefectures. Good or bad? It's bad. And the reason for that is it's just a statement. There's a topic, which is Japan is made up of 47 prefectures, but there's no writer's opinion whether this is a good or a bad thing, and there's no further topics that can be discussed in the essay. So this is a bad example of a thesis statement. B. Students go to university for a variety of reasons: academic interest, future career, or social life. This is actually a good example of a thesis statement. The topic, students go to university. The author's opinion, they go to university for a variety of reasons. And then what they'll talk about in the essay, academic interest, future career, or social life, the 3 points there. So it's a good one. C. To be successful in your career, qualifications and motivation are much more important than luck. So this is actually a good one as well. And then D. Classical music has been proven to help people succeed. Now you should be able to see by now that this is not a good one because it's just a statement. So what I'd like you to do now is to just try and write your own thesis statements based on the following: violence in video games, wind power, smoke-free universities. So just have a go trying to write your own thesis statements. Okay, so what you're going to do now is start to work on your own introduction. So based on the topics that you brainstormed in the previous class, you can look at making an introduction. So I picked up one of the topics from the previous page, talking about violence in video games, and this is the introduction I have made. As you can see, here is my background information, and it's roughly 80% of it. And then I've written a thesis statement for that. Okay, and so basically that's what you'll need to do as well. So in the background information, I've written a bit of a story about violence in video games, and then slowly I've come down to talk about some of the issues in video games and violence. And then in my thesis statement, I've directly talked about what I will be discussing in the rest of the essay. So what you'll need to do now and for homework is to write your introduction. And a good thing to do is to work through this student peer review check sheet on page 18 of your booklet. And in here, you don't need to fill in this information, but just check, before you submit it, check your layout based on what we've done previously. Okay, work through all of these, check the content, and you can check your grammar as well. Okay, and if you've got any problems with this, please contact your teacher to ask them questions. Don't just sit there not knowing what to do. And make sure you check Manaba for the due date given to you by your teacher. And your teacher will also let you know how many words you need to write for your introduction. It might be different for each class, so I'll leave that for your teacher to decide. Okay, that's it for today. Good luck.